Running body kick again.
All through every word. Warrior's voice will be heard. Whoa.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I know we late. Oh, well, get over it. TWV episode 24, The Warriors Voice. We are back at it again. MMA Pickers is here. He's behind it, Johnny Bones. We having some technical difficulties with his camera, but we're going to get that.
It's because I'm the GOAT, man.
He's the GOAT. There you go.
When are you fighting Tom?
Huh?
Oh, he's not answering.
Oh, damn it. Tell us, guys. Damn it. But yeah, and it's crazy. It's one of his favorite holidays today, and he can't even show his face. It actually sucks. I want to blame StreamYard. I don't know, man. We got to figure it out. But we back at it again. Another episode. It's number 24. And honestly, too, that's the last time you guys are going to see that intro. Not saying it's going to change too much, but we're going to add some more clips in there. I think I'm going to keep the. I think I'm going to keep the sound. I like the track. I like the track that's on it. But we're gonna add some more clips in.
If you want to shorten the whole intro, all you got to do is just play Robelis's entire career.
Dude, honestly, he could literally have a special. If he gets the belt, maybe we'll do a special intro just for him with all of his knockouts. But yeah, it's some more people that came in. I want to add in there. And if y'all have anybody y'all want to see in there, say it in the comments. You know, I'll throw it into consideration. I'm gonna switch a few out and add it. I'm also gonna add a timer to the beginning. So a few things we're going to add up. And next episode is 25. That's why I want to switch it up, too. It's 25 episodes. So it's a little anniversary for us. We've been pinning it in. I think it's like 5-6 months now almost. So 2 platforms, 5-6 months, getting it in. And a lot of stuff are going to happen to change in the next coming months. I'll speak more on that once we get to it. But you already know, man, I got co-hosts in the building. They're always the best of the best. Mallory Woods and my man MMA Pickers. How y'all feeling today?
Let's go.
It's Friday, man. Friday. I'm not participating in some great libation like Pickers is, and that's a shame. You can't see him. He's got some good over there drinking.
Yeah, just shout out to all the Jewish homies. Today's Purim, obviously. So you know I'm a good religious man. I got started with the drinking at 9 a.m. It's a day where we celebrate our survival and we drink till we no longer know the protagonist and the antagonist of the story. So you know I want to go to heaven. So you guys can't see it, but I'm holding up a shot of rum. Cheers to everyone, especially all my Jewish homies.
I got you. It's for my Jewish homies.
Oh, I got you.
You don't know what's in here. So I'm participating.
Let's go.
Mescal in the morning. Oh my God. Jeez. Okay.
That's a
let's get this episode started. God damn. Woo! A lot of stuff going on in the MMA world, man. We got a lot of shit to go through. 24 minutes late, but listen, we're like 20. We're talking 4 minutes. Listen, we're going to jump into, no, that's not what we want to do. We're going to jump into these topics. Here we go. And the first one I'll talk about is Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel has a fight coming up and a fight against a very formidable opponent, Brandon Jenkins, coming up from one championship, former champ. I think he's got 2 submission victories since he came in. Pickers.
Oh.
No. De Ridder. Yeah,
he subbed Gerald Mearshart, and then he subbed Kevin Holland his last fight.
Yeah. So he has 2 submission victories coming over for one championship. Going against 7-0 Bo Nickel, who's 4-0 in the UFC. He's been doing a real good job. Very heavy on the wrestling, but also hasn't been improving his striking. I'm really been impressed on his last few fights. And what he's been doing, but Brandon Jenkins is good at striking as well as wrestling, so it's going to be a good matchup. Pickers, I want to know how you're feeling about this matchup. What's your thoughts?
I think the UFC is brilliant with the matchmaking that they're giving Bo. I think this is exactly like his last matchup. It's going to be Jenkins is a brilliant grappler, brilliant wrestler. He has some offensive striking, but his worst area by far is his striking defense. Jenkins defends less than 50% of the strikes coming his way. I think after the Holland fight, it was measured at 47 or 46% strike defense. And keep in mind, most of that's out of the UFC. Bo Nickel, obviously known as one of the greatest wrestlers of our generation, one of the greatest collegiate wrestlers of all time. But, you know, his boxing's been coming along. He knocked out Val Woodburn in a couple of seconds. his boxing is very simple and two-dimensional, but it looked great against Paul Craig. It was enough to win him the fight. And I think that's what we're going to see here. I think there's a very high likelihood that instead of going to the ground, because we know Bo is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, but at the end of the day, we don't really know where his submission defense is because we haven't seen him on the ground with a high-level grappler ever. He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, last I checked. So, yes, he could be the greatest wrestler of all time, but that's not going to get him it's not going to save him from getting caught in a guillotine or a heel hook or any of those things that he's not accustomed to dealing with. So I think with a submission specialist like DeRitter, we're going to see him just defend the takedown because I don't think DeRitter's going to have a shot in hell to get a takedown on Bo Nickel and keep this on the feet. And I think on the feet, although his striking is very simplistic, he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a really hard worker. He's evolving in that field. And I think he will have both the physical and skill advantage over DeRitter on the feet. So I see this playing out with either a Bo Nickel KO on the feet, because he does have the power to do so, as we've seen, or him pointing his way to a decision with some clean boxing.
Yeah, I agree. And great take on that one. This is scheduled for a fight night on May 3rd at Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. So shout out Iowa. They're getting another card, which is crazy because Iowa actually has got a really big UFC fan base, and they're doing a lot of they have a lot of support over there. So any quick thoughts on this, Mallory, before we jump over to the next subject?
Well, you know what? So one quick thing. I think I had mentioned this before. Wrestlers, it's interesting. You get a really talented wrestler like this that has never used his hands. Now all of a sudden he comes to MMA, and most wrestlers, when they are allowed to, they throw bombs. Man, these guys got like absolute TNT in their hands. So we saw the whole, hey, we're going to match up Bo Nichols with another grappler with Paul Craig, and it was lackluster. Not exactly the most exciting thing in the world. I do like this a whole lot better. First of all, I like his nickname, the Dutch Knight. Huge semi-Batman shout out, for the nickname and everything. But I think you're right. This is a good, episode in terms of matchmaking. Perfect. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, 100% agree. We also have one of our other beautiful co-hosts here today, Mac Tyson, is in the building. Shout out Mac Tyson. What up, baby? We are going to be jumping on to the next subject on this one. And I kind of want to jump into over the weekend what happened because we kind of, we're not short on time, but we have to space some of the stuff out. UFC 313, let's talk about it. Let's talk about a recap on that. And I think we should start with one of the biggest things and the most important things, I would say, in my opinion. So let me get it up real quick, actually, before I start running my jibs. But where is it? Holy crap. There we go. All right. Yep, you see it. UFC 313. Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev was the main event of this one. Title fight. Alex Pereira, another title defense for him, but was not successful in this defense and took a loss to Magomed Ankalaev. To the contrary, his team believes, and other people, I've seen quite a few reels are kind of breaking down the strike counts and significance and a whole bunch of other things as their defense and I guess their case of Alex actually winning. But Magomed walked away with the victory. I always come to the point of I can hear the sentiment, and like when it comes to, hey, that tequila shot got to me right there. When it comes to, hey, we think our guy won, right? If you leave it up to the judges, it's up to the judges, right? And it's to their discretion. They are the gods and the judges and the rulers of the ring, right? Or whatever you're in. And they're going to make the final judgment if you allow them to. So it sucks for Alex, but also, to be honest, I was not as excited for this fight at the end of it, right? Like I wasn't as, and I've heard other like arguments on why they thought it was exciting, or Magomed's performance was less lackluster than we thought. But I mean, I've been to a lot of Alex fights, so it's like I think I'm used to a certain aspect of it, and that just wasn't there on this one. But honestly, too, I felt like Alex didn't look like himself at all. Like the last fight, I think it was Khalil Rountree, where he was sick a little bit, and like you could visibly see it. I think in this fight it was the same thing. I don't know if he was sick. I don't know what it was, but visibly I seen something in him that I don't normally see when he fights. And not making excuses for him or anything. Magomed did his thing. Like Magomed's defense was insane. He was dodging a lot. He was doing a lot of good work. And he walked away with the belt. This is crazy, and a lot of it people are calling for an immediate rematch. Does anybody have any thoughts on this? How they feel about it? I mean, in my opinion, I feel like Alex did enough to possibly win, but also, like I said, he left it up to the judges. So
I got a question.
I got an answer, maybe.
All right. So here's the scenario.
Okay.
And actually, I discussed this with somebody yesterday. So let's say, for example, you're a judge. Everybody here is a UFC judge, right? And we're watching a fight, and I go for a submission, and I'm squeezing, I'm trying to get submission, and the fighter escapes. Do you give more credit in terms of just overall judging to the submission attempt or the submission escape?
Attempt.
Okay, the attempt. Okay.
No question.
Okay. So when Alex is stuffing all the takedowns, I think he was flawless. He didn't get taken down. A lot of this
over 11.
Over 11. Yep. Thank you for this.
11, yeah.
A lot of this fight was clinch up against the cage. He did score some good shots, wobbled Alex right before the end of a round. Okay, I'll give him that. But that's where you get into the little part in judging, which determines whether you get a win or loss. How does a judge rate a submission attack or takedown attempt versus defense versus anything else? So I just want to throw that out there. Pickers, you sound like you got something.
I'm ready to dive
I forgot the answer. Go ahead.
I'm all over it. So first off, I agree with what Mallory's saying, but I do want to add in a caveat. What supersedes all of those things is damage. I think if you pin somebody up against the wall and do 0 damage for 4 minutes and 59 seconds of a round, and they land a single jab on you, I would give the guy who landed the single jab the round. Because
100%.
maybe you neutralized me, but you literally mounted 0 offense. Like imagine an NBA team has perfect defense, no offense, and they give up 1 field goal. Who wins the game?
Exactly.
The team that's
Very good example.
Right. So now listen. If you guys remember on last Friday, I told everyone Alex is not a lock. 80% of the money line bets are going in on Alex. He's still a minus 125. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Now I bet on the KO, so I got screwed like everyone else. But I had 1, 3, and 5 for Alex based on that principle. I thought in 1 he did a lot more. Yes, he landed less head strikes, but he did a lot more damage. Those leg kicks were brutal. Ankalaev's legs looked very battered after round 1. I thought that was the most significant damage in round 1. In round 3, I think every judge gave it to him pretty non-controversially. And then in 5, it's pretty much the example we're talking about here. And listen, there's also worth acknowledging there's a big difference between ground control time and cage control time. You pressing me against the wall is you stalling. You controlling me on the ground, at least you're in a superior position. You are like barely in a superior position when you're wall wrestling. It's like a 51-49 at that point. You're basically using all of your strength to just pin him to the spot so he can't use his offense while mounting no offense of your own. I think it's pretty clear cut to give Ankalaev 4. He almost knocked Pereira out at the end of that round. And to give Ankalaev 2 because Pereira basically had no offense in round 2. But I don't see how they ended up giving round 1 and especially round 5 to Ankalaev. And at the end of the day, I felt like I was watching Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista 2, and that's the fight I never wanted to see again.
Yeah, I love it. Take another shot, please. Oh, man. Holy shit.
All right. Man. Another shot. There's a rule, actually. Us Jewish people on Perm, we're not allowed to say no. So if you want me to take a shot,
well, let me also send you a Cash App notification request real quick. So you say no real quick. Make sure I get that off. Why are you feeling generous?
You don't have my fucking info. Thank God.
All right. So I guess my question is, and I guess Mac, you can answer this one since I ain't hear from you yet. Based off what you just heard and how you feel, do you feel like an immediate rematch is warranted here?
I think they're going to do the immediate rematch just for 2 big reasons. One, Alex is a huge star, so 100%. They want to run it back, and it's not a clear-cut fight. And 2, the division's not that stacked to begin with. So,
yeah, and a lot of the people have already fought each other. I'm pretty sure Ankalaev didn't he sub Jamal Hill pickers?
Yeah, like the UFC always tries to.
No.
He does a good job.
Paul Craig.
Oh, Paul Craig, that's what it was. Okay, yeah.
UFC tends to do a pretty good job of going by the rankings. There's some exceptions, but at the end of the day, they are a sports entertainment company, and they're always going to make whatever the biggest fight is. And right now, the biggest fight is the rematch.
100%. Well, hopefully we see it. I don't know, man. I want to see Alex get back in there. I want to see him kind of look more like himself. And maybe he just was very in respect of Ankalaev. I think he did respect Ankalaev's power and stuff a lot more than I've seen him with anybody else.
Maybe he felt stronger in the clinch than he expected.
Yeah. Or maybe also, too, Alex has been traveling the world and doing a lot more than he normally does before fights. And I forgot who else was talking about it. It was like he's in Australia right now and he fights in like a month. Like
I think it was DC that brought that up.
Yeah, DC brought it up. Yeah. So there's a lot of factors to this. So let's see like what happens on the next camp. Maybe he slows down a bit. Maybe he takes 4 months and just locks in Connecticut or somewhere else where he wants, like the PI or something. And maybe we see results. Who knows? We'll leave it up to Dana, Mick, and Hunter to make some shit happen, and hopefully we'll see Alex Pereira fighting again soon. I think he should take a break, though, in my honest opinion, before I end that off. I think he should take a break. I think it's well warranted. Speaking of breaks and bad ones at that, my man Bobby Green, man, one of my favorite fighters, has been around for a very, very long time. This man has over 50 fights. He's a freaking warrior, but he's lost the last 4. Unfortunately, lost the last 4, and not to bad opponents, like great opponents.
Murderers row.
Yeah, it's definitely. They're literally just lining them up with a lot of great guys, and he's just not able to get through. I mean, I think we had a knockout, 2 knockouts, a submission. What was the other one before that?
Triangle choke by Patty.
Patty.
Jalen Turner.
Knocked by Rufy, finished by Jalen Turner as well.
A really late calling decision.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what the ref. Do you want to see better?
The refs always do that to Bobby Green. What the fuck is up with that?
On Bobby.
Like the refs fucking hate Bobby or something, because I've seen this man get pummeled and they're just standing there like, yeah, let me.
We still got timing around. Like
there's like 30 more seconds. I think 29. He'll be all right for CTE. He'll be okay.
Worth noting also, his last 2 wins are Tony Ferguson and Jim Miller.
Exactly, which are also Jim. Jim is fine. Jim's one of the older guys where I'm like, he's still good. Tony and Bobby, I mean, it's kind of like at that point, guys. Like Bobby, I love Bobby, huh?
He subbed Tony.
Yeah, I know. That was a very weird fight. Very weird fight to lead on to what happened to both of them after. Like they both have lost every fight after that. Both of them. So it's just like, I don't know, man. When is it time to hang up the gloves? Because Bobby is in no way, shape, or form or fashion has spoken anything about retirement. I think it's exact the contrary. He wants to keep fighting. So
he's a prize fighter, and he's at the end of his career, but I think he has more notoriety within the last 2-3 years than he's had his entire career. This is 100% to make his bag. I think he'll keep happily getting knocked out by top guys to get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just a suspicion I have.
Yeah, but at what point does the health risk? I mean, I guess if you're at the end of your career, you're 50 fights in, like, and he was talking about it. He was like, man, a lot of y'all don't know like that walk, man, like that 30, 40s, when you're in your 30s and your 40s and your 50 fights, you know what I mean? That walk out to that ring is different. It's not like when you fresh in the UFC or you fresh coming out of whatever farm league you came from. It's different for them, but dude, I don't know, man. It's tough to say from this perspective. Go ahead, Mac.
I think what he needs to ask himself at this point is he still hungry for that belt, or is he kind of just taking it fight by fight, trying to get the paycheck? If that's the case, maybe you stay just for the better money. But if you could go to like another league and make the same money or even better money, it might be worth it just to have lesser competition for good pay.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, but it sucks when you like go to look up somebody's highlight reel and you possibly come across one of them just completely losing every fight on the highlight reel.
Yeah,
and I don't want the point where he's at now. Like I seen it the other day, and it sucks. Like they have one for James Vick as well. Like it's like a few people that they just kind of like put these together for, and it's like at that point, it's like it just sucks, especially when you're a fan of the person. Like it just absolutely just devastates you, and you're like, what the fuck? Because there's people who absolutely hate some of these fighters.
Oh yeah.
So this is like just pleasure for them. It's excitement for them to watch this person, get knocked out or subbed or whatever. But
what's also worse is how the disrespect fans have. Like,
yeah,
just to make it into the UFC and get to stay this long, you have to be in the top 1% of fighters in the world. Like, you don't stay this long in the UFC unless you are. And the James Vick one is a good example too, because at one point James Vick was like in the top 10 of the UFC. He was ranked like number 9.
Yeah, 100%.
And 100%. People act like he was a complete bum.
Yeah, I want to say that he's a warrior. Go ahead. What'd you say, Pickers?
I was just jumping in on that James Vick comment and saying MMA fans can be ridiculous. To be fair, people are saying Alex Pereira got fraud checked. I mean, MMA fans are just wild.
Fraud check after he was like the most active champion ever. It's like he beat everybody that's at the top. He got beat by one guy at the top, and now he's fraud check. And on top of that, his only other loss is Israel Adesanya.
Oh, 48-47, by the way, he got beat.
Like, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Yeah, MMA fans can be unrealistic. I am part of that a lot of the time. So
if Dustin Poirier would have jumped that gilly and actually secured it with Islam, people would have been saying that Islam was fraud checked.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Mal ended off for us.
Yeah.
You mean Khabib, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing I want to say about the Bobby Green story itself, if you look at this man's story, it's absolutely crazy. It's tragic. It's got a lot more lows than highs. And for everything that he's been wanting to do, pay off a house. I believe he was talking about that during COVID. He was fighting every week if they let him. So the guy's out there putting his body, soul, and health, everything on the line for the betterment of his family.
Yeah.
Can 100%. He survive in another league? What Mac mentioned, 100%. Absolutely agree with that. But is the story over? No, I don't think it's over. And just as Pickers mentioned, we might see him. I mean, GFL's out there now. He very well could go follow Tony to that. But when does enough become enough? I do believe when people that love and care about you more come to you one day in a moment of quiet and be like, hey, man, you're not the same. You're changing. We want you around for many more years. Can we make this one the last one? And that's when that conversation is happening. And that's when they decide, maybe it's time to hang it up.
Man.
Listen, his episode of Bully Beatdown on MTV was absolutely legendary, and I heard they're running that show back up. Maybe we can keep him in the cage.
I heard that rumor too. Yeah, that would be dope. And he'd be the perfect person too. He comes from that rough lifestyle.
Shout out to Bully Beatdown though. That was the show that like really got me kicked off into being an MMA fan.
That's dope. Yep. That's what's up. All right. Well, speaking of MMA, before we jump into the next segment, we're gonna hop into some karate combat stuff. We got Brandon Jenkins coming at 1 p.m. Eastern. So I want to jump into a few things on karate combat, and then we'll jump back to the UFC and stuff after he leaves. Before we get to Pickers betting segment. But first things first is we kind of talked about the Dubai card last time. Oh, before I do that, shout out to the sponsors. Hold on, let's get it. Karate Combat. Listen, also right now, Top Flight and Karate Combat partnered together to bring you Premier League votes, right? Top Flight is going to be a new platform that's going to utilize the Karate Combat and Up Only Gaming infrastructure, but they will be doing fantasy football leagues for the UK Premier League teams. This is going to be massive, and they're doing a showcase right now in the Karate Combat app. So if you go to the Karate Combat app now, you can actually see that you have picks for, don't worry about my dirty phone, you got picks for soccer teams or football, wherever you live, all right? Don't make a big deal about it, all right? It's just a damn name, all right? So you can make your picks right now. And so this is giving you guys an opportunity to do some and get some votes in between these fights, and I'm talking about our fights that we call coming up next, but that is in the app right now. So shout out Top Flight Karate Combat, bringing some more things. They're going to have their own app and own UI that they're going to be utilizing for that Premier League stuff. And also they'll be utilizing the Up Only Gaming infrastructure that will be released. So shout out Karate Combat, shout out Top Flight. Go make your votes. I don't know shit about this soccer shit, so I'll be calling some of my UK homies who actually know some shit about this. Shout out my boy Ali. I'll probably give him a call. My boy Matt and the rest of them. So I don't know shit. I know Arsenal. That's like the only team I know. Arsenal and Chelsea is like the only two teams I know in here. Honestly, maybe Man City. Yeah, Man City, I know about them, and Manchester United. That's all Tottenham too. But other than that, whatever. But shout out Karate Combat, doing a lot of big stuff. All right, but let's jump into Karate Combat because there's a lot going on. Last week we talked about it. We talked about where is it? Nope, not that. Where is it? There it is. All right. We talked about Dubai card. Dubai card is coming up May 2nd. I got an official date on that. May 2nd. We'll be in Dubai. We'll be huge. Last Dubai card was pretty dope. We did it at a stadium. I'm pretty sure we'll do it at the same one. But we got 3 title fights. This is going to be fucking insane. Holy shit. 3 title fights. Tyrone Spong versus Sam Alvey. Insane. 2 extreme veterans. Tyrone Spong over 100-some fights. Sam Alvey's been around the world fighting his whole life. And he's our heavyweight champion. And we'll be going up against Tyrone Spong for the belt. Only right because Tyrone Spong has a fucking massive stat sheet, massive accolade list throughout multiple divisions, through multiple leagues. I think it's like I don't even want to mess it up, bro. It's a lot. Just know it's a lot. Multiple shit. So it's no other way he comes in and fights for anything else. I interviewed him at Karate Combat. He's talking about he wanted to fight. At first, I thought he was going to fight Rebellis. Now he's fighting in Sam Alvey, which is insane. So that's the first fight, and let's jump into that first. There's also 2 other title fights: Shazib Ren and Luis Roca, and then Aileen Pereira will be fighting for a belt. Don't know exactly who. We'll talk about that in a second. But before that, people think this is a death match for Sam Alvey. They think that Tyrone Spong is going to dominate and just beat him. And the sentiment is understood in the fact of who, if you know who Tyrone Spong is and what he's done, I can understand the sentiment. But also, I wouldn't count Sam Alvey out as quickly as people are at this point, right? I would love to hear, Mallory, how you feel on the sentiment of people saying that this is a death match for Sam 1, and what is your prediction on this fight?
So the first thing I looked up, when was the last time Tyrone fought? So according to Tapology, the last time he fought, it was a canceled bout in 2022, January 28th, 2022. It's over 3 years, right?
Yep.
What has he been doing during that time? Has he been resting? Was there an injury? Was he just not competitive? Because the guy's an absolute beast. We know that. However, inactivity is not the friend of a fighter. The other thing is Sam is big. Sam is, and I think I mentioned it before, my quote exactly, he may have the Homer Simpson style fight of boxing where he's going to eat shots and he's going to, like what he did with Ross, is he just ate. He grabbed a hold of Ross and then just let the weight do the work, right? Can you do that with Tyra? I don't know. I would not. I'm looking at what you have on the screen right now, and the idea of that being a strategy does not seem like something I want to do on a Friday night. It does not. Prediction. Depending on what the inactivity level or what the inactivity reason was for Tyrone, will play a lot into this, my guess.
Yeah.
Sam will give him a good fight. However, also one of the things you also have to consider, everything we're looking at right now, look how big those gloves are. Guess how small these gloves are.
Oh, yeah. Those Karate Combat gloves are damn near knuckles, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I put them on. They're damn near knuckles. It's the reason we get a lot of knockouts, bro. Those things hurt.
So all I'm saying is I'm investing in ice companies, anything with a coolant to take swelling down. I'm putting all my money into that just before this because it's going to be a big purchase. And I look forward to that. I give the edge. I'm going to give, you know what? I'm going to say it's too close for me to call. I can't go either way just because I don't know what the determined circumstances are for Tyrone.
Yeah.
You know,
respectable answer. Do your research first. I mean, we got 2 months too. Like, we'll see. Maybe Tyrone will put out some footage. We can kind of see where his speed is. But also, that's not a clear indicator because Mike Tyson put out a lot of great footage.
And Mike Tyson looked great.
All we seen was him bite on his damn glove. So, it's not a great indicator, but hopefully we'll see some good stuff. Mac, what's up, baby? Talk to me. I know you're a big Sam fan. I know you're very familiar with Tyrone Spong as well. Where's your mind taking you on this one?
Well, the inactivity, as Mal said, is a huge aspect. That it's going to be a big question mark here, because we're looking at Tyrone Spong in his prime right now, and he's 39, which isn't horrible, like for a combat sports athlete. It's not like Mike Tyson, his last fight. He's not in his prime, but he could still have some good power and some good explosiveness at this age.
Yeah.
he's had MMA experience, only 3 fights, but still, that means that he's at least trained that grappling defense, which is going to be a huge aspect. The real key factor here is, and this will be answered in the first fight, is can Sam get this fight to the ground? Because there is a scenario where Tyrone Spong comes in there and just starches Sam. However, if Sam is able to take those shots, give his own, and also mix in that grappling, now we got ourselves a fight.
100%. And he did that with Arroyo. Like, he utilized his wrestling, his strength, and all of the things that, you know, made him who he was going through the UFC and all of those things.
But a lot of people are not putting respect on the champ Sam Alvey's name.
Oh, no, 100%. 100%.
They're saying UFC Alvey, not Karate King Alvey.
Exactly. And it's a whole different ball game. It's 2 totally different ball games. Pickers, I know you got some thoughts here, baby. End it off for me. What's up?
Absolutely. So I remember when I first got into working out, I had this goal. I wanted to do 50 push-ups. And I had all these different ideas. I'm going to bench press. I'm going to do pec flies. I'm going to do this machine, that machine. And I talked to a coach in my gym, and he said, what's the best way to get good at push-ups? You know what he told me?
Do push-ups.
Do some push-ups. That's exactly right. So we got Tyrone Strong. He's the best at kickboxing. He's the best at boxing. He's the best at this. He's the best at that. I 100% agree. He's an absolute maniac. Like Max said, he could come in there and do a Robella-style knockout. He's the guy to get that done. But this is karate combat. Mac, you're a big karate combat encyclopedia. Right now, who's the best 205 karate combat fighter on the planet?
It's undisputably Sam. It's a small division, but Sam.
Exactly. So based on that, based on the guy who's the best in the world at karate combat, that's who I'm going to give the edge in a karate combat competition, simply for that reason.
Yeah. 100% agree. And I love that you use a simplistic metaphor for Sam, because that is exactly how Sam is. I met Sam multiple times. Talked to him on multiple occasions. And when my homie Python that was fighting on IFC, before he went into his fight with, who was it? I think it was Arroyo. I think it was this fight right here that we have on the screen. Is he was like, he's like, all you got to do is just beat him up. Literally, like, that was his advice. He's like, when I go in, this is what you got to do. You just got to beat him up, you know? And then he went in, he beat him up. And if you watch it, like the end of this, he goes up and he's like, see, just beat him up. Just beat him up. And it's very simplistic. And that's literally how he approaches a lot of things is, hey, listen, like, it doesn't have to be too deep. It doesn't have to be too detailed and stuff. A lot of his stuff is real basic. Like, he's a real basic guy, not in the fact of like, he's extraordinary. Don't get it twisted. But I mean, and like, he's simplistic. Like, he doesn't need a lot of extraordinary shit around him and stuff. He lives on a farm. He's okay with just being around his family. He doesn't even, we took him to the club. He looks so out of place, bro. Like, that's not his thing.
Hold up. I need back info on that. You took Sam to the club.
Yes. Oh my God. It was insane. After the fights, he went to the club with me, Loudmouth, and us. It was absolutely a freaking ball, but he looked absolutely out of place. It's not a spy. It's not a spy. But like I'm saying, he's a very simple man. He likes the simple things in life. But in the same aspect, he's very extraordinary because of all of these different things that he does do. But he just keeps it at a very like basic level of everything he thinks of. His mentality is just like, it's just simple. Just do it. You know, like, you want to farm, you want your own stuff. Just have a farm. You know, just get chickens. Just get cows, and just. You want to, you just do it yourself. And, you know, you want to make money, just make a food truck and still drop 3 pieces of content a day and this, that. And every time you ask him, it's like, how do you do all this stuff? He's like, just do it, you know? So I love that Pickers use that. Sam Alvey, I love him. A great champ. One of my favorites, karate combat. Always positive too. Like, I love that. So this is going to be an insane fight. Tyrone Spong, somebody who's very like stoic, has a lot of stoicism to him. Sam Alvey, who's like the exact opposite. A ball of energy. It's gonna be insane to see these two personalities clash in the fight, build up, and the fight. Honestly, too, I'm on Mallory's with this. Is I want to say it's a pick 'em, but I would give the slight advantage to Sam Alvey because the pit is a different beast. I don't care who you are. I don't care how many fucking fights you had. That pit is different. And everybody I've talked to, everybody I've seen on any interview, UFC fighter, I don't care what level they were at, they always say, the pit is a whole different ball game. It is totally different. So Tyrell Sprague might want to take that into account as well when it comes to fighting Timothy Alvey in the motherfucking pit, because it's gonna be real. But I can't wait to see it.
Whoever wins this, though, I predict is going to be fighting Rebellis at the end of the year.
Oh, that would be so. Oh my god, that would be crazy. That would be insane. Insane. All right. Brandon Jenkins should be here soon. But until then, I guess we got a little second to talk about this real quick, because this is insane. And I'll let Ashley too. I'll let you run this one, Mac Tyson, because you're the one who sent me this. But we got some beef going on with former champ and the current champ, Karate Combat. A little back and forth between the two. Now, Mac, you sent me this. How did this whole situation start off?
So I just posted on Instagram highlight reel for Mizra Bek Teboev, because I respect the current fighters. I love the old fighters. I'm going to show love to both.
100%.
Now, some people were saying that, like, in the comments that, like, oh, Makako isn't the real champion, Mizra's the real champion. I was arguing with people about that, saying, regardless whatever you think, the fact is Karate Combat does not choose the judges or the referees. Makako beat the same guy that Mizra Bek beat to get the belt, the former champion Nolan Chalmia. Yeah. And to Makako, on this very show, his own disagreement with the rankings, he was moved up the rankings slow with the rankings council. So he earned his way up there. Yeah. So nothing was given to him. Now, there was some bad blood here now, and I forgot exactly how it got started, but Mizra Bek is a little bit on that side of Makako being given the belt.
Yeah.
So that's where all this came in, and that's where all that blood.
I mean, his initial vacancy of the belt is the reason why Makako had an opportunity to fight for the belt, because he would have fought a contender fight. He would have fought Jesus Lopez for the contender shot for the belt, but since he left and he vacated due to the elbows, was it elbows? I think that was added that made him, that was like a no-go for him. I think it was from his current injury, but he backed out, and that's how Makako got up there. And at the end of the day, it's contrary to the argument, like, everybody he's fought, he's finished. Like, everybody's fought, he's finished. Like, you can say what you want, judges aren't helping him. Like, he's beating everybody. It doesn't matter who they put in front of him. Penfield got kicked, knocked out. First guy that he fought, TKO'd him. The only person he didn't finish was Zafar Akhmadov, and I don't think almost anybody can finish that man. That man is insanely, like, his chin is out of this fucking world. So the fact to say that he didn't earn it is crazy. He fought the most times in the year. You can't name somebody else on the roster that's fought more times than Arturo that year. So it just shows. Now, him leaving, as far as, like, with the whole elbows being added in his current injury, like, I'm no judge or no person to sit here and say what's right and wrong, and if he was a warrior or not for that. That's up to him and whatever his beliefs are and whatever he's got going on, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like Arturo earned this, and I respect the shit out of Teboev. He's literally on the fucking intro of the thing, kicking my other favorite guy, Owen Chalmia. So, and I respect that, and that was a beautiful spinning back kick. That was a liver shot, right? But I feel like a little more respect should be given to Arturo, man. And I think over time, he's going to show them. I talk to this guy all the time. He's an absolute beast. He doesn't care who he fights. You can put anybody in front of him. He doesn't care. He didn't even have to fight that one guy. He put his record, his legacy, everything at risk for a guy who wasn't a bum. He wasn't a complete bum. He fought Corey Sandhagen and Austin Bashi. He wasn't an absolute bum at all. Like, he's fought people. He's been around for a minute. He's number 3 ranked in Colorado, but he didn't have to do it. He didn't know anything on this guy, had no fight camp on him, nothing. You know what I mean? And contrary for the same thing for the other guy. But this is insane. But I the thing I don't like is I think they're trying to make him out to be the heel now. And I don't think that's really what it is. I just think he's very confident in what he's doing. And I mean, he's proven it. You got to stop him. You know what I mean? You got to stop him to stop him. Anybody else got any comments on this before we switch over?
It's just crazy to see this. You know, we get to see this play out.
Yeah.
and follow it, because
Yeah.
this very well may lead to something.
It's just too bad that this didn't get settled in the pit.
Yes,
True.
this is the fight I want to see. I'm just saying. It's just, I wanted to see Jesus Lopez too. To be honest with you, I was very upset. I'm actually a pretty big fan of Jesus Lopez. I like his fight. He's a dog. He's a warrior. I didn't understand what was going on with that. I was lost. So it is what it is. Shit happens. Champs are going at it.
Saying his name.
Say that again, Pickers.
You should have to take a shot from now on every time you say his name. I don't like hearing his name.
Who, Jesus Lopez? God damn, is that two shots?
2 shots.
I'm gonna take these 2 shots real quick because
that's all right. I'm taking it with you.
it's a beautiful Jewish holiday. Holy shit. And also, we have a beautiful, nope, not that one. Well, yeah.
He's still beautiful.
We have a beautiful soul with us today. Why the hell is it doing that? Hold on. That's not what we want.
So I'm the human highlight reel, everybody.
No, you're definitely
welcome.
not the human highlight reel, brother. Oh, that's why. That's weird. Okay.
You can tell by my beautiful mullet.
No, he's not the beautiful highlight reel. StreamYard is drunker than all my Jewish friends today. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about all of them. Yeah, you're right. All right. But contrary to belief, this is the real human highlight reel. My man, Brandon Jenkins, karate combat fighter, motherfucking beast fighting out of Syndicate, Las Vegas, one of my favorite places to be in the world. And man, listen, I'll tell you one thing. Growing up, one of my favorite movies was Joe Dirt. And the moment I seen Brandon Jenkins, I promise you, I fell in love. And not the fact that he is Joe Dirt, it's just the mullet, baby. I love the mullet. I feel like it's a lot of energy that comes out of it. And who represents it well or better than Brandon fucking Jenkins? What's up, brother?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. How's it going?
I just woke up.
Yeah, I know it's in Vegas. We got you early. I know we're on East Coast time, so it's a little different for us.
Is it 3 hours ahead over there, or what?
Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah, I usually get up at 9, so.
So that's usually how the day works. When do you usually do your first training session?
Usually 10:30 or 11. It's usually I till like 1:30. So it's like 10 to 1:30 or 10:30 to 1:30. Yeah.
Where's Syndicate at in Vegas? I honestly I've been in Vegas so many times, but I've never been to Syndicate.
It's like Southwest.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. Like Sunset, Rainbow.
Okay. Yeah, I know where that's at. Yeah.
But it's outside of like the Paradise area of the strip.
Yeah, it's right next to the UFC PI and the Apex.
Oh, that's
awesome.
That must be wonderful for you if you can hop in there with some of the UFC guys at the gym.
I'm there every day, so right. I mean, like all my teammates are UFC. I was former UFC, so I still have like a relationship with the staff over there. So if I have like a training camp coming up, I'll usually hop in there and hit some weights or do some strength conditioning, or if I'm using it for recovery, like ice baths.
Is the food as good as people say it is?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
And the smoothies.
Yeah. So they're actually switching over. They're like that company, the parent company, TKO. Mm-hmm. They're sick of like outsourcing their food, like Icon Meals and what else do you call it? I think the thing they use is called Icon Meals, and they're just basically pop them in the microwave for 2 minutes, and then they have all the nutrition you need in them. But they're basically like TV dinners, and TKO is sick of paying for them, so they're actually making their own, and they're gonna like sell them at Walmart and all kind of stuff. They're also like they're testing the food right now, so I've been over there like testing the food.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, the PI is sick, man. The first time I went with V-Chain, and they took us on a big tour, like the whole facility, which was insane because it was Forrest Griffin giving the tour, and he was talking about all the scientific shit, and I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck happened to Forrest Griffin? Like, this man's a scientist now. It's insane. They have a lot of super high tech shit there. That's like it's out of this world. The people who are able to train at the PI are very lucky. It's one of the best places I've been. But let's hop more into you, brother, and like you're fighting karate combat. You just came off a nice win against Elad Suman, somebody that they were looking at to be a prospect, somebody they were looking to kind of push up the rankings. They threw him at you, and you threw him right back at him. And it coming off like 2 tough losses. Did it make any adjustments for like the Eli fight that kind of like helped you, or what was the mindset going into this one? You know, coming off the what was it, Efren Escudero and Joe Giannetti.
Giannetti. So I've always, if you look at my record, I've always fought every other show. It's always been like, it was like 46, then 48, then 50. And I was just like, yeah, put me on. I don't care. I don't care who it is. And they gave me a Giannetti. I was like, sure. Yeah, let's do it. I didn't really look up anything on him. He surprised me. And then they asked me to fight another guy from Thailand. No, he's from Australia. I forgot who it is. Other guy with the mullet. It was gonna be like 2 guys with mullets fighting each other.
Yeah.
And, I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then I signed. 2 days later, he pulls out of the fight. I'm like, cool. They're like, we'll find you somebody. I'm like, yeah. They sent me Elad. Hold on, my throat is like.
Very good, brother.
I'm like getting over something right now.
Same.
Anyways, they sent me Elad, and I said, I watched one video. I was like, yeah, I'm good. Let's do it. one video, and it's funny because like I try to be such a company guy. It doesn't always work out for me, but I'm always just like, yeah, you know, throw me in there. I'll fight anybody. And I was up on the platform, and they were reading off our stats and introducing us and stuff. And I looked at his stats. It was like 16-4. I was like, well, online it said he was 5-1. So I was like, that's different. And then it said like, what was it? Waco World Cup winner. I was like, that's like the Olympics for Muay Thai. Like that's really good. I didn't know that either. I was like, what did I get myself into? So yeah, it was funny, dude. Like I was like, literally, I didn't do anything. I didn't look at his Instagram. I didn't look at it. I literally looked at his Tapology that was sent to me, which doesn't have it. Especially if you live in like a different country, like it doesn't really have a lot of stuff on it. But I was like, okay.
Muay Thai records are awful on Tapology.
Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, mine isn't even online. Like I'm 6-3 in Muay Thai. But yeah, I thought I was fighting like a 5-1 guy, and then I got to the platform and I was like, that's not what I signed up for, but I'm here now, so let's just deal with it, you know? And no, he was really good. I also came out really flat. I think I was telling Mac about this. I was like, I don't know what's happening. I need to like fix my nutrition or something like that. But I'm just coming out really flat. Like I quit energy drinks. Like I'm just trying to like recalibrate like why I'm crashing right before fights. Like I don't know if it's like performance anxiety or something. And but I went out there and I was just staying safe, don't get kicked in the head. And I was like, I'll just keep wearing on him, hit him in the body, and push him against the wall, and you know, take him into deep waters. And he was just like laughing and smiling a lot and trying to like stunt on me. And I was like, well, let's see if you can do this like rounds 2 and 3. And
yeah,
you know, he quit smiling after 1. So
yeah, he did. With that, he hit you with a late elbow. I think it was in the first round. I think the ref was trying to break you guys up. Did that piss you off a little bit? The get you in there? You seemed a little more aggressive after that.
I think so. Like another funny thing is ever since Vegas, the rules have changed every fight that I've gotten. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Every single fight, there's been new rules, and I don't think that the referees are picking up the slack either. Like I think that they're a little behind every show also. And
yeah,
my first show, they're like, you can knee guys in the head now. I was like, well, this guy's dead, and I'm really good at that. And then the next show, they're like, oh, now you can leg kick. I was like, well, I went all camp without throwing leg kicks. We just landed, and they're like, we just approved leg kicks like today, so you can leg kick 2 days from now. I was like, cool, I'll do that. And next one was the ground and pound rule. Then the next one was the elbows. And the next one was the downward elbows. And no, Elad was hitting me with some downward elbows, even in the back of the head a little bit. And the referee kept like breaking us apart. He wouldn't let us wall and brawl. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know, like the referees always seemed a little bit behind. So, yeah. Yeah, Josh was very vocal about what was going on as far as like with the refs and stuff and how they were. And it just depends. Like some of the commissions are really good at picking up on the rules and like studying them overnight and stuff because they don't have a lot of time, to be honest, too, either.
when it comes to the commission sometimes. But yeah, that one was kind of upsetting me. It was another fight on his last card too, and I was like, why do they keep standing them up? Like, stop it! You're pissing me off here. They're not grounded. Like, they're not. Last question I got for you, before I pass it off to some of the co-hosts so that they could get some questions in. What keeps you motivated? Because like we said, right, you did have 2 losses before that. And what keeps you motivated to get to like that next point and just keep going when you're in that kind of a rut?
Yeah, I really think I'm like 4-1. I don't think I lost the Escudero fight. He's my homie now, but
yeah.
I don't think I lost that fight. I think I hit him with the kitchen sink. I think I outstruck him every round. I rocked him, put him on skates more. I really like this company a lot, and it's cool. I think I'm ranked like number 7, and I would like to get, like, if I win my next one and I get another finish, I think I'll have like the finish record like since the company has started. Like welterweights have never had more than 3 finishes, and I'm at 3 finishes within 15 months of being in the company. So
talk with our stats guys and get that figured out.
Yeah. So like if I get the next, I think it's just me and Josh Quaylen, the preacher. Yeah, he me and him have like the record. So I was like I want that record. I want the finish record for welterweight. So that's what I'm looking forward next.
Let's go. Well, I love to hear it. I'm gonna pass it down to Mal.
What's going on, Brandon? Man, I love watching you fight. There's never been a non-exciting Brandon Jenkins fight. You always bring that energy. I'm going to take it a little bit different away from the martial arts. All right, it's a Friday night. You're done at the PI. You've done all your training. We know you like we see you like ball kitty cats there. Throw that in the algorithm. So first of all, what's the cat's name?
Cheeto.
So who is Brandon Jenkins outside the pit? What do you do for fun? What's when you're not rearranging people's faces? What do you like doing?
I'm a chill guy. Like I like taking my cats for walks. They're leash trained.
And that's cool. That's hard to do too.
Yeah, he's got to start him at 3 months. So I mean, most cats you can just start taking them places at like 3 months. Like they're gonna be like little dogs. It's pretty cool.
And the one other thing, because I know we're coming up with time, I'm getting to get out real quick. According to what I'm looking at on Karate Combat, hopefully this is accurate, said about the age of 17 you started, taking Taekwondo. Let's imagine for a second that never happened. You never got involved in any martial arts. What do you think you would be doing today if that didn't happen? I started
doing K1 kickboxing at 17, but no, I did Taekwondo for like 3 years, and I did it like, I want to say like 14, 15, 16, but I got all the way to red belt, which is like 1 below black.
Right.
And, but no, I literally found VHS tapes of my dad fighting UFC legend Tank Abbott. Like I was like rummaging through his closet, and I was like, what are these videotapes? I threw them in the VCR. And one of them was pornography, which was not cool.
I was going to say, you're taking it.
Like the Billy Blanks Tybo?
Yeah.
The front like this?
Yeah.
That's where he would throw his porn in there. But anyways, that was I was like, this isn't real kickboxing. But then I found a video of him fighting like Tank Abbott bare knuckle, and I was like, cool, I want to be like my dad, like be a badass like my dad. And I started training, and just I never thought I'd be a professional fighter. If I wasn't fighting, I would be like 300 pounds, drinking Baja Blast, playing video games. I don't even know, man. Like,
well, I'm glad that fate decided that you're going to be like your dad, and it's great, a legacy. That's cool. However, I still think, like you said, you're putting roulette. If you guys have never, I always remember my age here, VHS tapes, unlabeled VHS tapes, you never know what you're going to get. It could be, like you said, it could be kickboxing, or it could be, adult wrestling. It could be jiu-jitsu. So respect that. I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to my next co-host.
Hey, what's going on, Brandon? Big fan here. I know you did a couple of GFL fights, which I think is really cool. And I know we always talk on the show about the difference between like the pit and the cage. But I was just curious how taking the gloves off and doing MMA bare knuckle changes the fight dynamics.
I think you meant game bread, not GFL.
Game bread. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said GFL. That's my bad. I meant game bread.
Hey, listen, it's a Jewish holiday. This is my Jewish correspondent on the show, so he is allowed to drink today to his heart's content. So he might mess up a few things.
It's a mitzvah.
Let's go. Take a shot to that.
It's literally my favorite sport ever. My favorite version of fighting is bare knuckle. Like I was telling Mac, like I wish you could take the gloves off with karate combat. I think there'd be less brawling, more, pinpoint accuracy, because you can't just brawl with no gloves on. You break your hand. And I'm a huge, I would definitely support taking gloves out of karate combat, taking gloves out of MMA, boxing, not so much. I think I've done pro boxing matches, and I actually enjoyed the big puffy gloves for that. I would never do bare knuckle boxing because I have little tiny girl hands and they'd break so fast. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Speaking of which, why do you think so few people within Game Bread don't make use of the Boss Rutan style palm strikes?
Funny you ask that. There's a ref in Florida, and Game Bread only fights in Florida and Mississippi.
Yeah.
I think it's Andrew Glenn. This guy, he's been a ref for me since I was 18 years old. And as soon as I saw him at Game Bread, I was like, oh, this fucking guy. And he's just always messing shit up. But he's one of the oldest guys. He's been doing it for over 20 years. I broke my hand against Anthony Andrequani, who's one of the greatest strikers walking the face of the earth. And I'm on top of him trying to finish him, but my knuckles caved in. So I started boss root palming him. And Andrew Glenn comes up and he's like, whoa. Only closed hand strikes. I'm like, since when? I've been doing MMA since I was 18 years old, and I've palm striked people for over a decade, and he's he kept warning me, but I couldn't close my hand. My hand was literally my finger was stuck like this, and I could only make a fist with this part of my hand. And so I was trying to palm him, and he kept stopping the fight and warning me. And then the next Game Bread fight, Andrew Glenn wasn't there, and I raised my hand. I was like, hey, is this part of the rules or not? Can I not open hand strike people? And they're like, no, you can totally do that. We've been doing this since the 90s. I was like, exactly. Well, Andrew Glenn kept he's like, well, Andrew Glenn, he's an idiot and he's not here. So said that, and he was literally there touching me and hey, you can't do that. And I don't know, he ruined my fight. I got poked in the eye. I looked at him and I was like, are you going to say anything? And he's like, I didn't see it. Keep going. I'm like, yeah, but I punched him in the eyeball of my knuckles. My knuckle went right in his eyeball. He went time. He gave the guy a break, everything. The guy's a freaking idiot. And if he ever does karate combat, I'm going to be like, no, absolutely not. He's not allowed to be my referee ever again.
And I know you mentioned you train at Syndicate. I know there's a lot of really good guys there. There's a guy there I'm a big fan of. I'm wondering if you've had any time to train with him. I'd love to hear your opinion on him. He just had a big win in LFA, Stav Koren.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Stav's my boy. We got the same manager. He's amazing. He's good at everything. Literally everything.
Yeah, he just got a 30-26 win in the LFA, so that was a good betting night for us for sure.
Yeah.
And then I noticed your cat Cheeto over there. Was that a Sphinx?
Yeah, is he around here? I just saw him. Yeah, he's a Sphinx. I can grab him really quick.
Please, yeah. No, I'm a big cat guy. I have two Bengals myself.
Yeah, his cats make appearances all the time.
When my camera works.
Yeah, they're the local celebrities of the show.
There you go.
Oh, buddy. I like this holiday. We got to have more of these pickers.
What's the name of the holiday?
What do you think? You're thinking about 3 shots in there, King? I don't know, man. This will be
when it comes to mezcal, 3 feel like 6 every time, bro. I don't know
Guys,
what
I'm not
it
gonna
is.
lie. I started 2 hours before the show. There's a 750 on my table. It's about halfway through. Oh wow!
There he is.
What a beaut.
Beautiful. How far did you have to go to find that?
There's breeders here in town. I just when I was washing him when he was a baby, he's got orange. He's got like little patches of orange hair. And I was like, this guy's always dirty. It looks like he's got Cheeto dust on his face. And so I was like, I'm going to name him Cheeto. But then I just found out he's like part orange cat. Because if you look at his tail, he's got like a striped tail too. See?
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. Wow.
I've never seen a Sphinx with that kind of tail.
Quick question. With you being out in Vegas and getting a lot of sunlight, what do you have to do to take care of your skin, especially if you take my walks?
So I usually just like walk him in the shade. I don't really if I take him out to Red Rock, I'll just make sure it's shady, or I'll go at like 5 p.m. or something like that. I don't usually go like right in the middle of the day. For skin, he doesn't really have any skin issues. A lot of like Sphinx, there's 2 different versions. There's like 2 or 3 different versions of Sphinx, and some of them are more oily. Some of them actually clean themselves. Some of them don't clean themselves. And no, he's pretty hygienic. I think because he has peach fuzz. He's not fully bald, so he's like a weird hybrid, and he actually grooms himself really well, and he doesn't get all oily. So he's actually not very high maintenance at all.
That's dope. I'm not a big. My girl wants cats, man. I tell her she's got to get like a big cat. I need like a Maine Coon or something. I need some massive shit. Yeah, I just want one of those. I told her she want cats. Like, just get a Maine Coon. I could deal with that. Yeah, huge, massive, like little tigers. I want people to come in my house and then to walk past and they're like, "What the fuck?" That's what I want. Like, I want that reaction.
Honestly, my mom has a Maine Coon, and that's exactly the reaction people get. Like,
hell yeah.
One of my friends, when I was in high school, saw it and said, and he knew my mom, and it was like, Maria, that's not a cat, that's a small bear.
There you go. Yeah. Little lynx in the house. That's what I want.
I'm usually walking him somewhere, and I always get the same like reaction. Walk past somebody and their dog, and they're always like, "That's a cat." It's literally the same. That's a cat. It's never like, oh my gosh, But like, yeah, he's cool, man. It's my best friend.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. I love to see it. Yeah, animals can definitely have a lot of sentimental value for us. There's a good connection too, because they don't talk back. They usually just fucking chill. Always there for you.
Yeah.
Cats.
Quite better than human friends at times.
Oh yeah. Very much.
I have some followers that just follow me just for the cat, but like I'll post like a cat video. I'll post cat videos like 2,000 views of me beating somebody up at karate combat. 19,000 views. I'm like, cool, whatever.
Fuck it.
Could you imagine if you started an Instagram for your cat and it got
no, but like I'll just post videos. I don't know. You follow me. Like I post like Cheeto videos sometimes. They don't get no likes, no love, and I'm like, you guys are buttholes.
Show Cheeto some love, man. What the fuck, dude?
No.
Hey, quick question. All right, because you mentioned it, I want to ask you real quick. Because me and you talked, I think it was in Austin. We talked for like 45 minutes about the new rule changes. It was like the elbows and stuff when they first got introduced. And they've added quite a bit more since then. What's your sentiment now on the rule set? Because you come from a UFC, like you come from that heavy like MMA background, like full all around MMA, right? The whole package. So a lot of these are utilities, like people like you and other guys that are in karate combat kind of were like weapons that were taken away from you guys and given back now. So what's your sentiment now with all of the extra stuff that they added with the clinch and all of the other things?
I love it. I love everything. I love just like not being like, I like when the ref doesn't have to get involved at all. Like the less refs, the better. And I feel like there's less breaks in the action, unless, like last fight, I was ground and pounding the guy, but both my knees hit the ground, and I could kind of see his feet walking towards me. So I just put like one knee up and kept punching him, and he like walked away, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, and
right.
But no, it's not too much different. I can go to MMA practice and go to Wednesday wrestling, and I'll do the technique, but I'll end it with like my knee on his chest or like my knee on his back, or like I just kind of like, twist it a little bit. My coach has always been cool with doing that. And my coach, John Wood, he's like one of the best coaches in the world. Coaches Marab, coaches Khalil Roundtree, Donald Cerrone, all these guys. And he always lets me manipulate the moves and the rule set for if I have a karate combat fight coming up. So no, I love the rules. At first I wasn't a big fan of the leg kick change because I was like, oh man, it's gonna like all these Thai guys are gonna come in, so it's gonna be kickboxing, and I actually enjoyed like just the calf kicks because it just made things different, you know. But I don't know. If it would have stayed just calf, I would have been cool with it. If not, you know, or it is not, yeah, I enjoy it either way.
Yeah. Yo, Pickers, did you have any more questions? And Mac?
I only got one more. It's the same question I ask everybody. I'm a big foodie.
Yeah.
I like to know you already know what the question is. What's your favorite thing to eat after you win a fight?
I live in Vegas, man. There's like more 5-star restaurants like per square mile than anywhere else. Smash burgers lately. I've been doing a lot of smash burgers. And I feel that or my new favorite thing right now is like hot honey. Like I do like hot honey pepperoni pizza, and like freaking Wingstop has a hot rub now. Like
bro, that is weekly buy in my house. We just had it for my birthday. Literally, I swear, my birthday was on Wednesday, which was like, when you want to go out to eat, just order Wingstop. We're cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna order some Wingstop. I'm craving it now.
Yeah, you get the sandwich now. You get the chicken sandwich with hot honey, and that's amazing too. And or the wings, but yeah, right now it's the sweet heat and like smash burgers. But I'm trying to get on this Dubai card, so I'm slowly trying to like work my weight back down. I'm like 188, so I'm trying to get to like 180, so I can go to 165. You know.
Speaking of that question, Tyrone Spong versus Sam Alvey, big fight, massive. Main event there. What's your thoughts on it? And do you have a prediction?
Let me think. So Sam Alvey's a slow starter, always has been. But he builds as it goes on. Like he's similar to me. When you have like a billion fights, sometimes you just have a little slower time getting out the gate. Tyrone Spong, he's always been like a fast starter. So it's like Tyrone's gonna try to jump on really fast, and if Sam gets through that first like 2-3 minutes, I think Sam could probably dominate like rounds, probably like 4 or 5, or the next 4 rounds, like 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. But I expect him to lose the first round pretty bad, if not get finished. If that, I think Sam takes it. You know, probably the late stoppage, maybe like late round 4.
Yeah. So you think Sam's path to victory is basically longevity and being able to withstand the initial assault, basically?
Yeah, I mean,
Tyrone.
Sam's his biggest heel is like being a company man, fighting these prospects, you know, in the UFC, and they would just jump on him faster, being younger dudes, you know. And Sam was fighting up weight classes towards the end of his career in the UFC. Like, even this one's like up a weight class. He's really like an 85er fighting at heavyweight. So
yeah.
And I don't think Spong's a huge dude. I think he's like around the same size as Alvey. So I don't think there's going to be a huge size advantage, but there might be like a slight speed disadvantage for Sam. But I expect him to take over in the late rounds and get a finish.
Yeah, I'd say the size advantage would probably go to Spong, even though it's not going to be a huge one, just because Spong
they're about
was a natural heavyweight in kickboxing, but he was a very small heavyweight and even fought in light heavyweight in kickboxing. So compared to Alvey, who was an MMA middleweight and now fights at 205.
But
he's really filled out that 205. Like I couldn't imagine Sam making 185 now.
Nah, I don't see it. He's got a lot of grown man weight to him now. He's starting to fill out a lot. And I stand next to both of them and like interviewed them. They're about the same size. I think Spong is a little bit bigger than him, but it's not too much of a size difference that I think will be effective in the fight for either side.
Plus, Sam pretty much mastered dad strength in fighting.
Yeah,
right. He's just got the farm boy strength.
Yeah.
Throwing them hay bales, baby. Throwing them hay bales.
I didn't
Honestly, know. You know what'd be amazing is Brandon Jenkins going to like the BMF ranch for a fight camp. Like Donald's.
I could set that up, but I think Cerrone is doing his next camp with us at Syndicate. He's doing 2 fights in the UFC, and I believe he's doing them here with us. So I'll be being part of that too. And I heard he's coming back at like middleweight, which is gonna be crazy.
Did you know that Donald Cerrone did some pro race driving?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you
he's
have
done everything. He's
would
crazy.
you have done
He's
that if you
insane.
gotten the chance?
Hell yeah. I'm such an adrenaline junkie. That's why I like climbing. I like horror movies. I want to feel things, you know. I don't
Yeah.
like, and I've done like every combat sport imaginable, like except for the one like the headbutts. What is that called?
That's
Liftweight.
right.
I want to do that one where it's like bare knuckle Muay Thai with headbutts.
Would
Wow.
you do traditional rules where it's kind of like Street Fighter, where you have to knock out the guy twice?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my god!
No, this is a real
I
real
know.
rule.
I know, it's just insane to hear it like actually spoken.
yeah. So like the only way to win is to is to knock them out, and
Twice.
you could beat the guy's ass for like 25 minutes, and if you don't knock him out, it's a draw. So you have like a lot of fighters with like they'll have like 7 wins, 1 loss, and then 9 draws. Like their records are just crazy. But
Insane.
and then if you knock them out, I think you have like a minute to like wake them up, and
Yes.
it keeps going.
If you get a revival period.
This is why this is like stuff like that where people be like, "Oh, MMA is savagery." I'm like, bro, boxing will let you get up 19 times and you get punched out every time. Like, you get 8 seconds.
So I was talking to Boss Root, and he's like, "Hey, if you really want to do this, like, I got the hookup. I have King LeDuc's number right here." And I was like, "Yeah, I want to do it." And he's like, "Call me after your fight. I could set it up." And then I talked to him, and he's like, "I think that country is at war." He's like, "I don't think they're really doing a lot of." They're not doing a lot of fights right now. I was like, "Oh well."
Fucking sucks.
Yeah,
Shout
whenever
out,
that
boss.
not fighting with itself, I will go over there and do it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see the mullet on the Dubai card. That'll be beautiful. You get to go over there. I went to Dubai last time for the last card. It was absolutely insane. It was a really good card. Tebuev and Roca fought on that card. Tebuev had a really good performance. And then Luke Rockhold and Joe Schilling. That was super dope. That one was fire to see.
Yeah,
just those 2 fight.
I was talking to him because he was going to put me on the Dubai card last year. And he was like, "Hey, we're going to Dubai. Are you in?" I was like, "Yes." And 2 weeks later, he goes, "Actually, we're switching this card to Salt Lake City." I was like,
Yeah.
Dubai
perfect
to
for
like
you.
Mormon land? Like, that's totally different, you know?
Yeah, but it's right in your area too, though. So you get a lot of people that'll come out more at Salt Lake than you would in a Dubai car. So I feel like you, for as your fan service, it's a little better as far as like your people being able to go.
I feel like there's quite a few people in Dubai would want to see
Oh, fuck
80s
yeah.
Karate action movie star.
Well, bro, I mean, Brandon is one of the faces like of Karate Combat. When you think of Karate Combat, like people who actually are like good personalities within the company and that people actually attach to, Brandon Jenkins, Arturo, Shazib, trying to think of some other ones, Rafael, what's his name? Alves. You know, it's a few of them that are like, I'm like, all right, one, they're like either they're really good at social media, they're really good fighters, they don't give a fuck who they fight, and they always show up, right? And I feel like it's quite a few guys, Brandon, you definitely land in that category as well. Of just like those company guys that the fans love. Like, you know, I posted on Twitter the day earlier, and it's like motherfucker tagged like 6 people. Dude, our favorite guy, the mullet's gonna be on the show today. And like he tagged all of his homies in it. I was like, bro, like I've never seen that for anybody. And so it's like the fans really fuck with you, dude. They really love you. It's awesome to see. I do too.
When they vote on the app, if they want to vote against you, like even if they think that you might lose, it feels bad, and you're still not sure if they're going to lose.
Yeah,
That's funny.
100%.
Yeah, because I was like, "Hey, remember when you were gonna take me to Dubai? We finally gonna do that?" And he's like, "I'll do my best." This is President Awesome, and he's like, "You might have to fight one of their local guys." I was like, "What else is new?" I'm always if I'm in Vegas, it's always an away game, unless like I fought Gogo here, but I don't think I was like a 500 underdog for that one, but yeah,
that was my first fight too.
But I heard that they're coming back here in August, so that'd be pretty cool.
Honestly, that would be a good rematch to do now that Gogo's gotten a little bit better at all-around striking. Brandon Jenkins versus Gogo, karate combat rules, but bare knuckle.
That would be super dope. I would love to see it. Is there anybody else that Brandon Jenkins wants to fight, man? Anybody on your radar that you want to put some knuckles on?
I don't know. I don't even know where I would because it's like impossible to fight up the rankings. It seems like the guys ahead of you never want to fight, or like Or
There's going to be a rule coming soon, though, that's going to change that.
Really?
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, there's a rule proposal that's coming down the pipeline that says that if you refuse a fight, that your contract will be under review. If you review a fight, and if you refuse fights twice, you're automatically thrown off the roster.
Jesus. Yeah, I was, because I think I was like 6 at one point, and I was trying to fight. I literally handed I said, hey, I want these guys, and it was everybody ahead of me except for one guy who beat me, and they're too busy doing they were doing seminars, they're traveling the world, they're getting married, and a lot of those guys aren't even on the roster anymore, which is pretty cool. But
they're cleaning up the guys that don't want to fight. They're getting straight warriors in there now.
Yeah, and, I mean, the guys that probably Quehe going to be a fun one just because he's former champion, and we both we're tied for the knockout streak or whatever. That one.
What about Ilyas Kamzin?
Who's that?
Ilyas, he fought twice. I think his first one was like a no contest. He just fought on the last one as well. He fought on the last card. He's from Uzbekistan.
Oh, the big. Oh,
yeah, Ilyas Kamzin.
I don't think he can make 65. I think he's doing. I think he did 75 and then 85, but I don't know if he's even in our rankings. I don't think they have him at 65. I'm just looking at the guys that they have on 65 just to see if there's any matchups I would, Yeah, I'm a pretty company man. But anybody gets me closer to the top, anything's fun. Quay will be fun, even though he's kind of been out of the game a little bit.
He's been out on injury that's been really bad.
Yeah. Oh, he has an injury?
Yeah, he's recovering. He told me to specifically not to say what the injury is, but it's been a bad injury.
That one, the Moroccan guy would be fun. He's really
Osama Asli.
I like watching him fight. He's fun to watch. He's fast.
Yeah, he's nice.
Gogo's doing really good, but I don't want to. I mean, we're cool. I don't know if you would want to do that again. But
Luis is in that division too. Luis Melendez, Puerto Rican kid.
I think. Oh yeah, the curly hair kid. Yeah.
Nice from
kid,
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
He fun taekwondo, right?
Yeah, that would be dope. They're both big taekwondo guys.
I think he's supposed to come out and train with us because we have mutual friends or something. I don't know. I invited him out, but he's a nice kid too. Omar Morales is there.
Luan Santiago too. He's got 2 wins now.
Yeah. I don't know if he's in the rankings.
Luan's trying to get on the Dubai card too.
Luan just beat Efren.
Yeah. That was a weird one.
Maybe you and Brandon, maybe you and Luan could make some noise and try to get on the Dubai card against each other.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who. That's the guy who fought Efren, right?
Yeah, he fought Efren and Corey Coop, the guy that the Detroit guy who had that big fur coat on.
Yeah, he was trying to. Corey was trying to fight me too, and I honestly didn't know who he was, but he was silly with that big fur coat on. Funny guy. I like anybody who's themselves. I'm a fan of anybody who is 100% themselves. But when you put on, I don't know, I just feel like some of it was a little bit, cringy. So I don't know. I don't know if he's just trying to stand out or whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, just be yourself, man. I think that's how you get fans,
Yeah, 100%. People are going to attach to things that they relate to. And if you do the things you like to do, people relate to it, then it's easy for you to just move on and freaking obtain people in the aspect of just being yourself and not something else. I don't know if we lost you there, Brandon, but your screen's black. Yeah, he may be getting a call in right now or something. Maybe. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, maybe he's getting a call. But
maybe he needs to jump out and jump back in.
Yeah. Well, if not, that was Brandon Jenkins. I'm keeping him down here on stage. I'll see if he pops back in. I think he might have had to dip out. But shout out Brandon Jenkins for gracing the podcast. Like great I said, guy. Company guy. I love him. Yeah, great guys. Dope dude. Like I said, I talked to him on multiple occasions about fighting, MMA, and he's just somebody I really enjoy like talking to just about anything and everything. And we just learned a lot of cool stuff about him too, man. Walking his cats, all types of shit, dude.
Like if Breakum ever did like a contest where like you could watch a fight with a fighter or like a meet and greet with a fighter, Brandon Jenkins is one of those guys that you want to get for that.
Oh, 100%. All right, B. Jenkins, we got him back.
I
All
don't
right.
know what happened. That was strange.
Yeah. I don't know. StreamYard's back to weird today. You see Pickers too as well. I won't let him show his face today, which is insane.
I'm John Jones today.
Yeah, he's Johnny Jones today.
Go to what?
The Jewish John Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
JJBJ.
I'm so used to there being a show every month for Karate Combat that, like, I fought in January and I wanted to fight in March.
Yeah.
And but then there's no show. It's supposed to be like a Shanghai show this month, I think, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be. Yeah, and then with the whole Bonk Stadium being built, I think they was going to take the 2 months to kind of get everything solidified for that, and then a Dubai card. Because I think is presenting an opportunity for them to start pushing cards out. I meant like promoting cards out a little farther. And I think that's going to help a lot with building you guys' fan bases as well, like, and being able to fight more regularly. I know Awesome, he mentioned it, and I know it's probably farther down the pipeline than we want it to be, but he was saying at one point they want to get to like 2 fights a month at the Bonk Stadium, which would be dope. That would be super dope.
That's insane. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how it's going to, he said it's going to be like an Apex. The Apex here, it wasn't that big, and tickets are like $1,200. It's outrageous. Very 100%. VIP, and hopefully it's bigger than the Apex and they can fit more.
I feel like it's going to be, well, first it's also going to have a performance institute aspect to it too.
Yeah.
But I think what it's probably going to be is, I don't know if this is the case. This is just me knowing how.
I could tell you based off what they told me.
Yeah, it's just my speculation is it's going to probably be more focused on like the production aspect of it, the digital backgrounds, rather than like there will be an in-person crowd, but I think it will be more focused on the online streaming.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing the actual backgrounds anymore. I think that may be a thing of the past. I haven't used it for the last like 3 cards. It's a very expensive thing, but I just don't know if it's something like they're just focusing on right now. I think they're focusing on other things production wise, and it's already a great entertainment product. I love it. That's one of the main reasons why, like, when I came on, I was like, oh, this is super dope. This is like Unreal Engine. Like, this is somebody's actually creating this like a video game, and I'm a big video game guy. Like, I came from gaming and streaming, so it was dope. But honestly, yeah, I don't know if the stadium's gonna include it. From my understanding, from what I've been told is, Performance Institute, Apex kind of situation, also kind of like a dormitory situation where fighters can come and actually they can start fostering and bringing in new talent from places where they normally couldn't. Because, like, if you guys know, like Arturo Vergara's story, like, he was trying to get to America for a few years before he even got over here. Was able to have somewhere where he could stay, like a Goat Shed or something like that. He reached out to Ross Levine. A lot of other guys try to get him over here, and it's a lot of people like that. And from what my understanding is, what they're trying to do is build that for Karate Combat, where they have like, hey, we want to be in Karate Combat, but I can't make it to America. Okay, cool. Well, we got this dormitory for you to come in and work with our people and kind of figure things out. So it's going to be kind of like a dormitory. It's going to be an Apex. It's going to be a Performance Institute. And also they're going to be live streaming it 24/7. And it's going to be a shit ton of content going out there. To be honest, more than likely, I'll be in Miami in the next few months living there to help out with all of that too. So that's a little alpha for people who didn't know. I'm more than likely. I was having to head into Vegas, to be honest. We were going to be neighbors, Brandon. Yes. But as soon as they were like Bonk Stadium in Miami, and I'm like, oh, still like 2 hours from my mom. My girl's mom lives in San Juan. That's like a 30-minute flight, not even. Like, put her on a plane for $50. Yeah, I'm like, damn it, man. But it's more expensive, but I think, well, now I know this Bonk Stadium is going to be beautiful for Miami. And before Karate Combat, and a lot of good stuff's going to come out of it. And I think also too.
What part of town is it going to be on?
My understanding is going to be in Doral, so not the most popular part of town, but I think it was, for the facility wise, the best for space. I want to say it's like 15,000 square feet. I might be wrong on that. I might be 3 tequila shots in too as well. Who knows? But
it hasn't been officially announced. Where
yeah. I don't know exact square footage, but yeah. So that's what I've been told in meetings and like when I get updated on shit like that. That's what I've been told so far. And also, if you watch, there's another one. This one has clothes on. Awesome.
It's cold here. It's like 50 something degrees.
Yeah, I like the hoodie. Looks like he's ready to drop a freestyle.
He's a little older. He's a introvert. This is Joey.
He's like, I don't want to be on camera today, guys. I know I'm fly. Oh, his eyes. That's
Yeah,
so
his
good.
eyes beautiful.
Little hoodie.
Beautiful, man.
That's
It was like
adorable.
ET, right?
Yeah. You gotta
Honestly,
do it. Put him in front of the.
You could do that video with the bike.
Yeah, put him on the front of the bike and do it. You should be like riding into Dubai for my next fight. It would be hilarious.
I told President Austin, I said, if you get me like a baby hoodie or like something that says Karate Combat on it, like I'll bring him to weigh-ins on my shoulder. I'll just like.
I've been telling the marketing department they got to make baby G's.
Yeah, that would be fire.
Yeah,
we gotta get you two. Yeah, we could get you 2 cat geese and a sling for them, and you'd be good to go. Well, Brandon, we're not gonna hold you too much today, brother. But at the end of the interviews, we always allow the fighters, athletes, whoever's on, to just say whatever they want. Speak a piece. You got some shit to get off your chest. You got something you want to promote. Whatever you want to do, this your time to do it. We appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on today, and definitely won't be the last time. We're definitely gonna speak to you again once we have a confirmed fight. But this the floor. The floor is yours, brother.
Oh, just thanks for having me on, and I really enjoy you guys' betting show. It's really great. I got new merch. I got some party in the back, violence in the front t-shirts. So they're only 25.
Where can they find it at?
Oh, I have them on hand, so I'll mail them to you. But
yep. Yeah, so hit them up on Instagram.
Yeah. So that's about it right now.
I'm serious. I want one. I'll tell you right now.
So right now I only have medium, large, and XL. I don't know.
Perfect.
What's your size?
XL. Let's go.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. Because I've had a couple like smalls, and I don't have any smalls. I had a couple like XXL. I have like 2 giant friends, and they're like 6'4". I'm like, sorry, I don't have them right now. But like I said, like I'm just so used to being like more shows. I might have to like do an MMA fight or like a boxing match, squeeze something in like early April. Yeah, just keep the money flowing in, and then hopefully jump on the Dubai card if they allow it. So, do you know what show is after the Dubai card?
It should be the first Miami show. It should be the first Bonk show. It's a possibility that they could do Bitcoin Vegas. It's still on the table, but
That's August, though, isn't it?
Nah, the end of May, actually. In the beginning of May is Token 2049, which is in Dubai, and then at the beginning of May is Token 2049 Dubai, and then the end of May is Vegas, Dubai. So I'm at Vegas Bitcoin. They were going to do 2 in May, basically 1 in the very beginning, 1 in the end.
I heard that was Fountain Blue.
Yeah, I said the Fountain Blue.
I heard August was Fountain Blue. I didn't hear about the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's why they're not getting you for Dubai. Maybe they're thinking if they do the Bitcoin Vegas show, they want to save you for that.
Yeah. Could be a possibility. Either one. Leo, if you watching, motherfucker, get Brandon on a goddamn card, man. Press, do something, make it happen. We love the mullet. We love Brandon Jenkins. I think I can agree with everybody in the community. Definitely
and
somebody.
By your recommendation, I'm now ordering some hot honey rub.
There you go. There you go, man. I think I still got some in the refrigerator.
When you guys come out, I'll take you to the guys. We'll all just go to a spot and they have like hot honey pepperoni pizza. It's like the best in town. It's called Prince Street. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. I know about Prince.
Yeah, Prince Street is
fire. Yeah, they got a lot of good shit over there.
When you guys come out, like let me know and we'll all go over there.
Let's go. Sounds dope, brother. I don't eat pork, so we'll have to find me a different option, but we'll get it done. We'll figure it out. Vegas has so much good food. It's one of my favorite places to eat. So Miami and Vegas are my top 2 places to eat. So love it, bro. I appreciate you, brother. Have a good training today, man. We love you. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Hey, I shot you a DM on Instagram. I want that shirt.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you up for one too as well. Let's go.
Take care of business.
Shout out Brandon Jenkins,
Hey,
man. Once
man.
again,
Hey, what a good dude, man. You
oh, I
know?
love
I'm
it.
gonna have that shirt on the show next week.
Oh, let's
There
go.
you go.
There we
By
go,
the way,
man.
My camera's fixed.
Funny thing about Fountain Blue. Last time I was in Vegas for the Karate Combat Vegas show, way more than a year ago, we were walking. I think I was with McMalley. I'm trying to remember who else was there. We were walking back to the hotel, and we walked through Fountain Blue and was like, "Oh, I've never seen this place before. Hey, how long has this been open?" And a guy looked and says, "Oh, about 12 hours."
Yeah,
like I'd never been to the place that was the brand opening day of it. It didn't smell like cigarette smoke, so I knew it was
exactly. Yeah, Fountain Blue is dope. I love that they put it in Vegas too. It's a Miami staple. It's been around forever. That's where they have the Fountain is where I want to say Club Live is, right? Yeah, I think it's at a Fountain Blue Hotel and down in Miami. So super dope to see them out there, man. Shout out Brandon Jenkins. I love Vegas. Vegas is absolutely one of my favorite places to go. Yeah. Vegas and Miami. So like to be honest, either way where I was moving, I was like, I'm fine. They both have amazing fucking food and great weather. And that's what I'm looking for right now. Miami's much more expensive. I'm just going to throw that out there. What I could get in Vegas for, to say it like this, what I'm going to get for a 2-bedroom apartment in Miami is what I would have got for a 3-bedroom house in Vegas. So I'm definitely
Miami.
I'm definitely eating it.
I'm probably going to look into areas just outside of Miami. That's still
yeah. But the thing is, if I want to be at the gym every day, if you've ever been to fucking Florida, nobody wants to drive 2 hours in traffic every fucking day, dude. Like I'd rather just be at the end of the day, when you think about it like this, right? I'll pay for that fucking convenience. Like I'll pay to be around the corner. Like I'm not gonna be far out like Fort Lauderdale, but I'm gonna be close to Doral as possible. We working on that. We got a lot of things. We got a few months to get it done. We working on that. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Exciting. I think quite a few people from the team are actually gonna be stationing themselves in Miami. It's gonna be a lot. Like it's gonna be a lot, especially if they get the 2 cards a month. I'm not gonna be trying to be flying back and forth to Miami twice a month. Fuck that. I'd rather just be there. Call me. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. But Pickers, you got picks today, or do you wanna how you wanna do this?
Oh, I got picks. So this is a big dog week in my mind. So I skipped the parlays, I skipped the breakdown, but I have 8 picks that I really, really, really like the lines on.
Okay, so let me get it up for you. Let's do that. Let's get those 8 picks done because today we were a little late on time. And also, just a little side note, I'm super excited. It's a proud dad moment. My daughter made the softball team.
Hey,
love it. Fucking love it. All right.
Let's go.
Fucking love it. All right. I have to go get equipment. So you're gonna have to take that shot. I have to, this is what I was saying is I gotta leave because we're gonna have to go get equipment. My wife's gonna have to drive now because we had a few of these.
You've been celebrating.
Right, exactly. But I get to go buy her first glove. So this is a super dope thing for me. So we're going to get through these bets for everybody that's stuck around. You already noticed it's time where MMA Pickers going to give you some bets, but I'm super happy, dude. I'm a baseball guy. I just want to let y'all know. Combat sports and baseball. I play baseball all the way. Dude, babe, bring my hat case. Dude, I play baseball from 5 years old all the way to like 10th grade. Okay.
I was like Frozone calling for a super suit.
Yeah, Red, where's my super suit? So for her to come and tell me that like she made the team and all this, like she need the stuff and everything, dude, I was super excited. Yeah, I got a lot of Yankees hats. That's the Stills one in the front.
A small collection.
You know what I'm saying? This something like just a little. I got quite a few more. My girl said she said I can't bring any more hats home. So yet somehow they just end up here. I don't know. Not my fault. Some people throw them in my bag. I have a hat case. I don't look at it all the time. Somebody
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Yeah, do not give me a hat. If you want to be on the good side of my lady, I would not buy me a hat. She will absolutely hate you. Trust me.
I'm gonna buy you socks. I got you.
Yeah, there you go. Buy me socks. All right, but this MMA Pickers time to shine. Mac and Mallory. Actually, if you guys want to head on out, that's perfectly fine. Shout out my host, Mac and Mallory. If you haven't checked them out, the Karate Hour, it's also, if you go to the bottom of our page, it has everybody's YouTubes at the bottom of their all separate pages. Karate Combat and Brave as well, our sponsors. Shout out Brave, our sponsor. And MMA Pickers, we're adding his as well because he's about to start his YouTube. So shout out everybody here. This is a collaboration of different channels coming together and doing a thing together. So shout out my 2 hosts, Mac and Mal from the Karate Hour. I appreciate y'all, brothers. Y'all could go ahead and head out, let y'all cut early. And I'm going to swing it over to Pickers so he could do his thing. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go there.
All right. I'm going to go a little out of order here. So take me to that Kevin Vallejos fight first, if you don't mind. He should be fighting Choi. There it is. Boom. All right. Here's the first prop bet. Coming in at plus 210, we got Kevin Vallejos by first round KO. This dude's an absolute animal. You see his record over there, 14-1. So that one was a decision loss to Gene Silva. That's right, a decision loss to Gene Silva. I think he has, if I'm not mistaken, a 90% finish rate, and he's on a streak of knocking people out in the first round. Choi, pretty talented kickboxer. But two reasons to lead me to believe he's getting knocked out in the first round. First off, he's chinny. That's obviously a really easy reason. Second is his biggest weakness as far as his kickboxing is when he's smothered with pressure, and that's exactly the way that Vallejos likes to fight, with pressure boxing. I think for Choi's long and rangy style, it's going to be a poor matchup, and I don't believe in his footwork or defensive ability enough to believe he'll be able to keep Kevin Vallejos off of him and use his range. So let's go Kevin Vallejos, knockout, plus 210 in the first round. Second fight, that Ryan Spann fight. I believe he's fighting Waldo Cortez Acosta at heavyweight. This is going to be Ryan Spann's heavyweight debut. He's coming off a beautiful sub 20-second knockout in lightweight. He's looked really good lately. He's really good from everywhere. He's got good submissions. He's got good hands. He's showing a lot of improvement recently. He had definitely had a downward slope from that Anthony Smith fight and onwards, but when it was kind of do or die for him, he really stepped up big, and he's looked good since then. Waldo Cortez Acosta, interestingly enough, this being the Karate Combat channel, is the one who quote-unquote fraud checked Robelis to Spain in the UFC. I believe that was his last fight. He's much better at doing the salsa dance in the middle of the ring than he is in fighting, in my opinion. I believe the reason Ryan Spann's the underdog is because he's moving up in weight. I do believe him to be the more skilled fighter, and I also believe light heavyweight to be the more competitive division. I don't see a submission happening here. I think there is a big size difference, and I don't believe that Ryan Spann will have a lot of luck getting this to the floor. I think the only way a submission happens is if he knocks him down and then decides to jump on his neck, which we have seen before, but I just don't think it's likely. So if you take the knockout or decision prop, which interestingly enough, Vegas actually has submission as his highest odds of winning. But if you take the knockout or decision prop on Ryan Spann, that gets you a plus 240. So I think there's a tremendous amount of value there. Next fight, we'll go to the Andre Lima fight. Should be a bit earlier in the card, I think. There we go. So he's fighting Barres, who's very tough, very durable, but also he's going to be lacking in skill. He's going to be lacking in power. He's going to be lacking in athleticism. Andre Lima is an absolute monster at 125. The way I see this fight going is either Andre Lima finishes him later in the fight, or wins a pretty convincing decision. I think he should have the advantage just about everywhere. There, of course, is the risk of him knocking him out early, but considering this is 125 and Barres is very, very tough, I like the bet that I put in was Andre Lima over 1.5 rounds. That's a two-leg same-game parlay. That's coming in at minus 180. I think that's worth throwing a unit on. I know a bunch of you guys watch Contender Series. If you remember this chick, oh man, I ate dirt this card. It was Shauna Bannon versus Unessi Dubin, and Unessi Dubin is the next fighter we'll talk about. She had probably the greatest knockout in women's Dana White Contender Series ever. It was like 17-second knockout of a standing LFA champion who looked like she had steroids with her Frosted Flakes in her breakfast bowl. I mean, this chick was literally like a female bodybuilder. Everybody thought she was going to wreck her. She opened at a minus 900, closed at a minus like 1,700, and then Dubin came out, KO'd her in 16 seconds. Unbelievable. She's 6-0. Up until that point, she fought a bunch of cans, so I think people thought she had a padded record, but she just beat one of the best regional female fighters on the American scene, and didn't just beat her, but absolutely devastated her. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable knockout. If you haven't seen the fight, I highly recommend you go watch it. But we're going to sprinkle a little bit on her by KO at plus 650, just a little sprinkle. And she's coming into this fight a pretty heavy dog at plus 285, so I certainly think that's worth throwing a unit on. We haven't ever seen her struggle in a fight, and the other chick is 7-6. She's the lowest level of the UFC talent pool. I don't know why the odds are the way they are. At the very least, it should be a pick'em, but don't consider Dubin a beginner. Don't consider an expert. Don't consider her anything. She's a question mark. And a question mark versus the lowest level fighter in the UFC, after what she just did on LFA, I'll put a unit on that question mark at plus 285. That's a great deal. Okay. Next, we have Luciano by decision. That's going to be minus 175. That's Luciano versus Hughes. That's going to be the women's fight on the main card. Sam Hughes is very lackluster to me. She's very durable. She's very one-dimensional as well. I think Luciano will pretty much have her beat everywhere, in my opinion. I think she's a step ahead in the striking. I think she's a step ahead in the grappling. I think she's a little bit larger than her, a little bit taller than her. And, I mean, both of these chicks don't really have any power in their hands. And I think while I do give Luciano probably a wrestling advantage here, I think if it does come to the grappling, I don't really see any aggressive finishes. I think there's going to be some conservative top control coming from the side of Luciano. So at minus 175, even though it doesn't give you a ton off the money line, I like that line enough to throw a unit on Luciano by decision. All right, let's take a look at the Zaleski Dos Santos fight. Dos Santos, excuse me. There it is, co-main event. Perfect. All right, so I'm really high on Zaleski Dos Santos. I'm really high on Nijikwani also, but I just have to go with the history behind Dos Santos. He's a little bit more multifaceted. Even though Nijikwani, I think, is going to be the bigger, taller fighter, he has absolutely insane reach. I mean, 80 inches is like ungodly. Dos Santos just has that wild factor. I mean, this is the guy, if you guys remember, who knocked out Sean Strickland at welterweight with the spinning back kick. He's just beaten other legends of the sport. He's got really, really good jiu-jitsu, strong wrestling. He's just built like a freaking powerhouse, and he's just got that crazy Brazilian thing about him. He just powers forward. He doesn't care what you throw at him, throws bombs at you, but at the same time, he's calculated. He makes head movements. He slips out of the way. He anticipates where your punches are coming from. It's a very, very dangerous combination of ruthless and calculated. And I just think he has more tools in his bag. This pick could totally burn me because the truth is Joquani is really, really good with the striking, really, really good with the clinch. And if he can stay outside and use his reach, it's going to be really difficult for Dos Santos to find any success with striking. But I got to go with my gut here, and I got to go with Zaleski Dos Anjos, and I'm going to give Chidi credit. He's pretty tough, so we're going to also add the over 1.5, just like we did with the Lima fight, and that's going to actually net us a plus 110 payout, which is puts on the positive side. And lastly, let's look at the main event. Dolidze versus Vettori. Vettori is basically the equivalent to a walking punching bag at this point. I mean, Jared Cannonier we're talking about here, literally set the volume record for the entire middleweight division all time against Vettori. I think he had almost 300 significant strikes, which is insane. I mean, at like 40 years old. It just seems like Vittori's defense is really bad. His footwork's really sloppy. His boxing's really one-dimensional. And he hasn't beaten anybody that good recently. He beat Paulo at 205, and that was really cool and all that, but we also know Paulo was coming off an injury, and he was coming in overweight. Isn't just, oh, I have 20 more pounds of muscle. It's like something. If you came in 20 pounds to a fight overweight, something went severely wrong in training camp. Just puts an asterisk next to some of those wins, and the losses he's taken have been really rough. But we know one thing for sure about Vettori: his head is literally full of rocks and made out of rocks, and he is not going to get knocked out. I mean, you're probably more likely to break your hand punching him in the face than you are to knock him out. So for that reason, I predict that Dolidze is going to win by submission or decision. I think Vettori's a decent grappler, to be fair. He's a brown belt at a very prestigious place. But Dolidze is like a world champion grappler. I mean, the dude is absolutely insane on the ground. I think he should have a big advantage there as long as he doesn't run out of gas. And as bad as Dolidze's striking is, I think on the feet, he can take that Magomed Ankalaev approach and just smother him against the wall. And we see that works all the time. It's basically how he won the fight before his fight with Kevin Holland. Or when it comes down to the punching, I just think he has more power, more forward pressure, and he's a little bit better than Vettori in that area. So I like him as a dog. I don't see any point in betting on Dolidze by knockout. I think it's very, very unlikely. So I'm going to take him by submission or decision, and I'm going to get a plus 240 line on that. And I very much like that. And that'll cap off my bets for the week. I'm not going to do any parlays this week because these are all risky fights. But I'm just going to throw a unit on each of these and see what happens.
I'm freaking double muted. There you go, my boy. MMA pickers with the picks of the week, baby. Appreciate everybody that stuck around to get those. At the end of the show, we always give you some value for sticking around and showing us some love. So shout out pickers and everything it does to get those together for us every week. Shout out our two co-hosts that already left, the Karate Hour guys, Mac and Mal. It's me and MMA pickers, and we're going to go ahead and sign out on this one. It's episode 24. Shout out Brandon Jenkins as well for stopping by for the interview. And yeah, I'm going to work on some dope interviews for next week. I actually we got a break, so it actually gives us time to get in some of the faces that we haven't seen in a while or haven't seen at all. I'm going to hit up a good friend of mine that may be a MMA UFC legend. See if maybe we can get him on the show, all right? So love you guys. Appreciate it. MMA pickers. He is going to continue to get drunk, and so the rest of my Jewish homies. Shout out all of my Jewish constituents out there. Enjoy your day. Celebrate life, celebrate everything. Everybody in today, celebrate life, man. It's a beautiful thing, and be grateful that you have it. So we out. That's me, King Apollo, signing out. My boy MMA pickers. We love y'all. Deuces. See you on the next one, motherfuckers.
Let's go.